In 2015, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, created the Base Erosion and Profit Shifting (BEPS) initiative to try and minimize tax avoidance by multinational corporations. This BEPS initiative made a series of recommendations that were adopted by the G20 countries and are now being implemented in many jurisdictions around the world to lessen the gaps and mismatches in the international tax systems. However, the BEPS initiative has not eased the problem that the digitalization of the economy has created, particularly around the allocation of taxing rights between countries. The central question is, where should a company be mainly taxed? Where it does business? Or where it is based? As a result, the OECD launched a new two-pillar approach to address these issues in 2019. Pilar 1 and Pilar 2 are part of the OECD discussion to reform the international tax system. In recent times, the world economy has become more and more digitalized, which has led to a shift in profit to low-tax jurisdiction or tax havens. Due to this, the two pillars have been designed to try and create a fairer and more equitable global tax system. Pillar 1 is a framework for allocating taxing rights between countries based on where the largest MNCs generate their profits. This means that big companies will pay a fair share of tax where they do business, even if they do not have a physical presence there. The OECD estimates taxing rights of $200 billion per year to be reallocated, resulting in revenue gains of $13 billion until $36 billion if the agreement is put in place. Pillar 2, also known as the Global Anti-Base Erosion GLOBE proposal, is focused on establishing a global minimum tax rate that the MNCs must pay on their profits regardless of where they are located. This pillar tries to create a level playing field for all countries with a minimum corporate tax rate of 15%, reducing the incentive for companies to shift profit to tax havens to avoid paying tax. This is estimated to raise an extra $220 billion of revenue globally each year. The OECD or G20 Inclusive Framework on BEPS is a global platform established in 2016 for cooperation and collaboration on international tax matters to try and improve global tax problems. The BEPS initiative showed the need for greater cooperation among countries to address these issues, and the inclusive framework was created as a way for countries to work collaboratively on solutions. The platform brings together over 140 countries and jurisdictions and operates on a consensus-based approach. In theory, all members have an equal say in the decision-making process. The ongoing discussion on Pillar 1 and Pillar 2 of the OECD Tax Reform Project have involved extensive consultation and engagement with stakeholders from governments, civil society, and the private sector. The two-pillar approach has been the subject of ongoing negotiations and consultations with a goal of reaching a consensus-based solution. Some countries, such as Ireland and Hungary, believe it will impact their ability to attract foreign investment. Other countries, such as Brazil and India, have raised questions about the fairness of the proposal and their impact on the Global South. Since October 2021, 136 nations have agreed to the proposals, subject to it passing their own internal legal system. Nigeria, Kenya, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan have still not agreed, believing it does not go far enough. While there has been significant progress in the negotiations on Pilar 1, it is hard to know when and if a final agreement will be reached. Pilar 2 of the OECD tax reform project is more likely to happen than Pilar 1, as there is a greater consensus among the participating countries on the need for a global minimum tax rate to address tax avoidance by MNCs. However, the internal politics of big countries such as the United States may be more important than the inclusive framework. Overall, the two pillars of taxation aim to address the challenges of the digital economy and ensure that the multinational companies pay their fair share of tax, while also promoting tax certainty and reducing tax disputes between countries. The two pillars have brought together many countries through the inclusive framework. However, much work needs to be done, both within and between countries, before they are a part of international law.